everyone, and welcome to our lecture on self-attribution and professional outreach at Moorpark College. This is MO3, Advanced Digital Media Reporting and Writing, and my name is Professor Kelsey Stewart. So, the objective for this lecture is for students to explore the career opportunities available to them with the implementation of various career building certifications, memberships, and internships at the national and local level. The idea is to start selling yourself. Make yourself well-known, establish a brand, establish a theme, establish a network, and we're going to get you there. Okay, so let's talk first about self-marketing. This is also known as personal branding. It uses branding tools to create an image around a person rather than a product. So it gives you a chance to communicate and highlight your skill sets, values, expertise, experiences, certifications, memberships, accreditations, and more with your potential employers. Here are 7 tips to self-market. We have find a niche, seek recognition, share, network, form a community, and socialize. Last is branding a theme. So here we are on finding a niche. What is your beat? What are you passionate about? We have talked about this all semester long. You need to have a beat. You can also have a micro beat if you love covering sports, but you're also kind of into breaking news. Then let's do it. You have a beat in sports and you want to kind of solidify your expertise in as a microbeat in breaking news. That's great because breaking news is not always happening. So here's an example of both in a sense. So his beat would be fire, but he also covers breaking news because fires are breaking news. So we have Stuart Paley. He is a Southern California native with a background in photojournalism and history, and he is recognized as an expert on nighttime photography, which he had that coming into as well, and has documented roughly 75 fires in 5 years. As the fires have become a pretty big thing in Southern California during the Santa Ana season, this is a reliable beat right now. Sadly, it is guaranteed that we will have some fires, whether how big or small, but he is there covering them. He is often seen like this, so we'll talk about his image a little bit later, but he's often seen prepared to go into fires. Second, we have seek recognition. You want to showcase what you know by building a knowledge base. So Stuart Paley obviously knows a lot about fires. He has taken the time to network with the fire departments and the public information officers, and he just knows the layout. He knows what's going on. He's become an expert at fires. So how do you do that? You develop relationships with thought leaders and media representatives in your field as well as professionals. So think with fires, you're going to obviously be contacting the fire department. If you're covering crime, you want to be covering getting a great network with the police department and so forth. So recognition is key with all of this. Recognition is the acknowledgement of someone's validity. So we are reading Stuart Paley's articles and we are establishing and recognizing his authority and his validity within the realm of covering fires. So in order to gain that, you have to prove that you have it, which he has. 75 fires covering those, we'll do that. But you have to establish that for yourself. So how do you do that? You become first an avid news reader. You should always know what's going on in your local community, your state, and your nation, as well as the world. Just not at every single minute detail, but you should know the general idea of what's going on. It should not shock you that there's a presidential election this year. It should not shock you that beaches are currently closed still. You should know, a ripple effect of what's going on around you. You should also be an expert at your beat. If your beat is sports, you should know exactly what the NCAA is saying right now with the coronavirus pandemic. When are they starting up the National Baseball? When is practice starting for NFL football teams? You should know this. This should be something that you should know, or you should have it as a notification on your phone following certain Twitter accounts that will alert you to any changes on that. You have to be up to date on all breaking news. You have to constantly increase your abilities and skill sets that will enhance your beat coverage. So again, that's reading, that's creating a network, that is establishing yourself as an expert with training, with further reading, further research. That's what we're looking for. Number 3 is share your insight. You want to become a voice to be reckoned with. So when Stuart Paley probably has an idea about possible fire tips, avoiding fires, saving your home, something like that, people are probably going to listen to him because of how many fires he's covered. You want to be a voice to be reckoned with. You can start that off by commenting. You want to, you can comment on other journalist stories. You can comment on tweets. for your specific field. You can start posting, blogging, just getting published, really, just making yourself established as, I'm going to research this person's name, Kelsey Stewart, and it will pull up as, an avid breaking news journalist or whatever, the expertise is of that individual. You want to network. So to create a network, you need like-minded people in your field, and you need to work on creating and maintaining that relationship. Like-minded people do not necessarily just mean journalists. They do not necessarily mean members of the media that align completely with your political views and your ethics. They don't mean that they are just police force if you're covering breaking news. They don't mean that they're just a certain demographic at all. In fact, your network should be complete varietal of many authoritative sources, as well as journalists, as well as mentors, as well as people that you mentor. You want to create a network, but also a community, which is what we're going to kind of start talking about here with number 5. When you form a community, again, it should be a varietal of people, but it also should help to establish your authority. So you can establish your authority when you start mentoring others. So whatever you've learned, you're going to start giving back, whether it's in the form of, at an elementary school or a high school level, you're giving back, or whether it's a form of just a new journalist in the field, or whether it's a form of you're giving back to your local police station or fire station by collaboration with breaking news. Whatever it is, you have the authority by offering up industry insight to those still in training. So it is something that you can provide that will offer giving you a chance of authority in that field. You want to also socialize. This is not necessarily talking about being at all the hit parties and so forth, but it is in regards to your social media platforms. So you want to make sure that on your Twitter account, your professional Twitter account that we set up last week, that you follow all the mainstream media groups and independent that tie in with your beat. Again, if you're sports, you are definitely following ESPN. You're definitely following all the collegiate levels programs of whatever sport you're either emphasizing in or just all of the sports. You should know 100% if there's any scandals going on. You should know the who's in the March Madness tournaments if those were going on. You should know the tracking record of every team. Those are things that you would know. You would retweet. You would comment if applicable. You will start to create yourself as a recognized authority in that beat. Lastly, this is branding a theme, and we talked about this briefly in the beginning with Stuart Paley. His image is almost always associated with some sort of fire gear that he is wearing. He covers fires. People are going to recognize him in that outfit. So whether your theme or your image is a professional headshot, or whether it's some sort of graphic design logo, your voice is recognized behind it. People are going to see it and know, oh, that is this reporter who is well known for this. You have to make it count. It's up to you how you want to channel that. So professional attribution is joining professional affiliations, beefing up network and expertise abilities, also enhancing your community, whether at the mentorship level or the mentee level, creating employment and mentorships again. So you want to make sure that your professional attribution ties in you at ground level all the way up to CEO level, if you get my drift. So here's some examples of affiliations that you could join that will help to increase your network opportunities, as well as just expand your horizon and understanding of your field. If you are going into public relations, the PRSA, which is the Public Relations Society of America, has a student section. Ideally, student memberships are cheaper. They're just more affordable. But then again, you are in the student section. So if you're looking at more of like a professional engagement opportunity, then you might want to seek out the non-student membership. It just depends what you're looking for. I have the student chapters linked up here for you all. So you can kind of get an idea. The local chapter, I think, is at Cal Lutheran University for the PRSA. We have the Global Investigative Journalism Network. So this publishes articles from all over the world. They are always looking for a pitch. They're always looking for articles or pieces. So think of something, if you have it, think of contributing. Think of something that would be affected at the global level. Obviously, the coronavirus is affecting the entire world right now. So that's something that you could bring a localized feel to. If it's an investigative piece, not just a story, you have to make sure that when you're contributing to these types of affiliations that you're in line with their mission. So here is Tanya's information, and she actually does pick up bios as well as she does pick up pitches and stories, and will review them. So it doesn't hurt to apply. We also have the Society of Professional Journalists. This is one of the most well-known national organizations. It was founded in the 1900s, actually. It has about 6,000 members. Their code of ethics is what we follow in our newsroom. In fact, majority of colleges follow their code of ethics. They are incredible and completely cover a lot of different angles. So we also have the American Society of Journalists and Authors. Now, this was founded in the 1950s. This offers a kind of different outlook for those of you that are interested in journalism, but also have a knack for fiction, nonfiction writing. So this is something, if you're interested in kind of developing a wider range of network and obviously expertise, this is something that we would recommend. All right, so our last one here is the Writers Association. This is a list of freelance writers, so if you're interested in more of a freelance route, then this is your game plan right here. You can go ahead and select that, and that is where there's a list of roughly like 12 to 20 opportunities for you. So check it out. This is important to be able to offer accreditation on your portfolios. The whole idea is that you are representing yourself in the most professional manner as possible. So you have branded your image, you're reaching out, you're creating networks, you're getting in touch with professionals in your field. So this will all benefit you. It'll benefit your recognition and your validity in your beat. So let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for tuning in.